You're gonna like this guy. He's all right. He's a good fella. He's one of us.
Welcome to episode 5 of the Good Life podcast, 9th of April 2026. How's your week been, mate? What's going on?
It's been good. It's been another good week. I think loads of progress within TGL, which is obviously always a topic here, isn't it? I think track days are getting better, which we announced last week. Loads more coming. Training feels good. I feel like I'm slowly recovering from those lower body injuries. I got my first lower body day in for like the first time in like 6 weeks. The last few I've done, just had to cancel because like cramping up, the weirdest sensations ever. So in the middle of like a real like rehab stage. It's not my first, it probably won't be my last, but it's all good. It feels better. Running plus 40k again every week, be about 45 this week, get that up to 50 and then probably hold there for a little bit. So that's good. Work's good. Training's getting better.
How was your Easter?
Good, man.
Yeah.
Good. Went to that brunch at the Atlantis, the new one.
Royale.
Beautiful, yeah, beautiful, mate. So nice. Overindulged massively. I was talking to you out there, wasn't I? And I said, ever since Sunday, so went out Sunday evening. It's still not recovered. Still not recovered. So loads of food.
Still trying to digest the food.
Honestly, loads of food. Lack of sleep because it was a bit of a later night. I don't really drink, so no alcohol. But I feel like I just haven't caught up. And it's so weird when you're used to eating the same foods the majority of the time, as soon as you like go off that, it just hits you like a truck. I mean, I don't regret it. I actually don't regret it. I think it's something important to say. Like, I do not regret enjoying myself. It was Easter. They had loads of Easter specials on there. And obviously I ate some fairly like good food before going up to the desserts. And I've done about 3 to 4 trips of like the desserts, just trying to get everything in. But no, mate, absolutely.
What was the place called again? The restaurant?
Gastronomy.
Yeah.
Gastronomy, yeah.
I've seen the Instagram reels of like the breakfast buffet,
Oh, it's
so
outrageous.
we'll have to go back there.
100%, mate. The breakfast, I'm a huge breakfast fan. I would always choose breakfast over dinner
That's a big shout.
every day of the week. I feel like there's so many options with breakfast. I feel like dinner, you can't really have something sweet for dinner. But if you want something sweet for breakfast, you could have that. But you can also have like your fry up, so you get your meat there. You can have savoury. You can have like anything for breakfast, right? Fruit.
Yeah.
But I feel like with dinner, you are quite limited. So I'd always choose like breakfast. You can have your coffee with your breakfast. I don't know, it's just me. What would you rather?
I'm a dinner man, I think.
Dinner?
Yeah, I'm not huge on breakfast, to be honest. I'm a big fan of having a lot of coffee in the morning, as always. That's what we always
that
are.
is your brekkie.
But for me, yeah, in terms of, I guess, yeah, like, what do you mean, like a cheat meal or just a
in
meal in
general?
general? Yeah,
Like,
for me, I'd prefer, mate, very simple, just ribeye steaks and
Yeah.
vegetable skewers. That is, like, honestly, like, my dream meal. If
Yeah.
I was to have just one meal, like, your prison
Forever.
meal or your one meal forever, just a steak and some veg. Like, I'm happy with that, to be honest.
Easy,
Nice and
simplicity.
simple.
How's your
So-
week? Sorry, mate. How's your week been?
Yeah, good. We actually went out for Easter as well. We went to Brunch and Cake. It was absolute carnage there. It was one of those places where you don't book and you just rock up to it. And it was absolutely mental, mate. There was people everywhere. We had to wait 2 hours to get in. But it was good because there was a lot for the kids to do and whatnot. So Roman done like some Easter egg hunts and stuff like that as well. I think he had some bunnies. They actually had bunnies there, which is mental. Like
Real
here,
bunnies.
they actually, real bunnies and ducks and all sorts.
Yeah.
So, he absolutely loved it, mate. And then, just had some food, some dinner and that there. I just went for the old steak and skewers, mate. There was a barbecue going, so I was like, I'm all over that. They have a proper barbecue out, carved up. So, yeah, it was good, mate. Good Easter weekends. Roman is getting a bit older, so he's understanding. He's got a bit of an addiction to chocolate. We're trying to solve. Every kid does. He loves it. So, after Easter, when the chocolate's just still there and you're like, what on earth do you do with this? So I'm just trying to give it away, mate.
Yeah,
My
get
nanny,
rid.
Whoever wants it, take it. But yeah, mate, it's good. And then other than that, training's good. Running's just slowly building up. I feel like now my body's adapting to running a little bit and I'm not as cooked. I've realised with running that it's not just about going as hard as you can every run. Like, I've always understood the concept of doing your zone 2, your easy runs, and I'm quite good at staying relatively controlled with them. I think the misconception I had was with the track sessions and the intervals, like when you rock up to them and everyone's just like shoulder to shoulder, like that kind of football competitive mindset comes in of like, I cannot drop off, I've got to push through. And I've done that. Not this Tuesday, the Tuesday before. And I said to you, like, I felt ill all week. I couldn't recover. I was battered. My gym sessions were bad because I was just running paces I should never be at all. And then I realised, right, this week I'm going to take it a bit easier at the track. And it was weird because my mindset after the track session was like, was that good enough? Like, again, I've just got that built-in thing of like, you should be burying yourself like a pre-season, but obviously that isn't the way from what you told me. And I felt so much better this week for it as well. Like my run this morning was much better. I just feel like I have a lot more energy as well. So that's been my biggest takeaway with the running is just don't hammer every speed interval session, like max effort. I just assume speed, max effort.
Yeah, go for it. Do or die. I think, you just can't do it, can you? I think as well, like, if it's your only session of the week, fine. But like, obviously you're training, 5-6 more times, including the gym and running. Yeah. And I always think as well, it's great to push yourself. But realistically, there's no point. You're not running a K at 320s and like holding that, are you? So pushing yourself to that limit there's a lot of stuff out there, and a lot of people do believe that you should sort of run at like your max speed if you were like racing. Okay. So just to get your body conditioned to running at that pace. Yeah. So whatever your 5K pace might be, maybe try and add like 5 seconds to that. So it's sort of there or thereabouts, just so your body actually knows what it feels like to run at that pace. And I think it's important. Something that I do lack is actually, if I didn't have my watch, I wouldn't have a clue what pace I'm running. I couldn't probably tell you if it was like a 4 or a 5K per minute, like just not a clue.
I don't know, a lot of experienced runners obviously to go off feel a lot, and it makes sense in terms of conversational and easy, but when you're doing like your speed work, your intervals, your tempos, and you've never actually run before, like me, I've never run properly, obviously run through football and some experience there, but if I don't know, then I just don't know. I almost feel like I don't know if this is right or wrong, but you know when you're first start off with your nutrition and you track food, and over time you get an understanding of food, and then you can kind of ease off because you kind of understand what's in food. Surely it's like that with running. Like once you track for a while, then you'll get to understand your paces, and then you can back off with it. I saw Nick Bear actually. Obviously Nick Bear. He's transitioned away now from data apparently.
Really?
So he's
just
running.
purely off feel?
I think he's got a Casio watch on.
No way.
And he's just running. So he's just doing like time-based stuff.
I think as well, like I think when you get to that level, like he's proven everything he needs to prove, right? And he's obviously got an immense amount of fitness. Like the stuff he does is just wild, isn't it? Yeah. And I just love like his transition. It's sort of similar to us, like pure like bodybuilding, resistance training to like still keeping that and wanting to keep a cool physique and still be fairly strong, but actually just pushing a completely different side to performance and stuff like that. But no, I think we do get overtaken by data, don't we? And I think something you said there is so important is if you don't know, you don't know. So when sometimes I'll speak to like a new client or someone who inquires or something like that, and they'll be like, I just don't really know what I'm doing. And I say to them, that's normal. Like if I came into your field of work, I wouldn't know. If you don't know, you just don't know. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a learning process. Like I think
sometimes with coaching, like one thing that I always say to people when they first start off is I expect you to have downfalls, setbacks, problems along the way. That's normal because you're getting coaching for a reason. And if you had all of the answers and you had it figured out, you wouldn't need any of our help. But sometimes I think from like a human psychology standpoint, we only want to check in and tell our coach when we're doing well, when we're getting wins. And of course, like as coaches, we want to celebrate their progress with them. But at the same time, we understand that progress comes from failure after failure after failure. And yeah, that's a key lesson. And I just think, that's one trait I see as well in the most successful clients is they're willing to push and to test and to fail. And I always think if I'm not failing sometimes, am I actually pushing hard enough as well?
I think we spoke about that the other day, didn't we? About like setting goals and actually making them scary where you might fail. Yeah. I think and I can be guilty of that as well, maybe being a little bit too safe with certain stuff because no one wants to fail. No. But I always say to people, like, it's not really about when you fall off, it's just about how quickly you get back on. So if something doesn't go right, whether it's a training session, you have an off week, you go on holiday, or you have an injury, whatever it might be, it's not really that's important. You just have to navigate that. But it's how quickly you get back to it. That's what's going to accelerate your progress, right?
100%.
I think going back to, mate, something that we need to talk about and touch on before we get onto anything else is actually what's happening in the UAE.
Yeah, with the ceasefire.
Yeah.
Is it true? Who knows?
I hope so. I hope so.
But obviously they announced a ceasefire and then all of a sudden there was a load of missiles going off and it was like, hang on a minute. But I've heard, I don't know if it's true or not, but there's rumours around it takes some time to kind of communicate and there's a bit of a lag of the process, if lag's the right word, that's Call of Duty's words. But you know what I mean? It takes like 48 hours for that to get through and to be in process. So
fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I think it's just a relief for everyone, right? Like, I think it's just
because that night when we were going to sleep, Donald Trump said tonight's the biggest night of human history or something along those lines. You know what he's been saying. And I was going to sleep thinking, I'm either dead tonight or I wake up and we're back to normal.
Yeah.
So we woke up to some good news, which was obviously the optimistic side.
I feel like it's probably been the best news we've had in ages out here.
Yeah.
Right? Like the best news we've had in so long. And obviously seeing that tweet, and you sent it to me, I think, didn't you? You sent it to me. And obviously my dog Cooper, he's due out. He's flying tonight. It's flying tonight, and I thought so. He's already been. So
who's dropping him off? Who's getting him on the plane?
So I've basically paid this company to do it. They deal with everything. My family dropped into like an overnight kennels yesterday. He stays there, gets checked that he's fit to fly. Then he's flying from Heathrow
We've got to do a little fitness
at
test.
10 p.m.
Oh,
I
that's
don't know.
his VO2 max.
You see if he can stay on. So then he gets on the plane. I think his flight's like at 10 p.m. tonight from Heathrow, and then he'll land here wherever. I'm waiting for a message back because an agent will pick him up, drop him to my house, mate, it'd be some reunion. But honestly, so obviously he's been cancelled twice. It's been a nightmare. And then 3-4 weeks ago, they said they can't even give me a date when he's due back, when they're gonna start taking pets again. I think it was maybe about 10 to 14 days ago. They was like, oh, okay, like I think Emirates are allowing pets to fly again back to Dubai, and I was like, right, just get him on the earliest flight. And then I saw Trump tweet that, and I thought, not again, please. I was like, whatever's going on, just hold off. Let me get the boy.
You're in the perfect place for it in Dubai Hills as well, right? Like so many people with like kids and dogs around there as well.
I can't believe, obviously I've been here numerous times over the last few years, and I never realised until proper settling here that how many people have dogs.
Yeah.
It's nuts. They're everywhere.
Well, when I moved here 5 years ago, not as many people had dogs,
Yeah,
definitely,
so
and
it
wasn't as much of like a dog-friendly place. But now, there's dog parks everywhere and people out with their pets and stuff. So it's great, and I'll definitely be bringing the kids along to see Cooper and stuff. Obviously, he's such a good dog as well, right? Sometimes that's a bit of a worry with kids, but just to get them used to animals. I always grew up, as you know, in my household, we always had 5 dogs.
Just going to say how many
at one time. So
I remember coming around and they were just everywhere, right? Like little dogs, big dogs. You had every sort of dog.
And it's funny because you speak to my older brother, me, or my 2 younger sisters, and everything we'll all consistently say is, "I'm never getting a dog."
Yeah,
and
you've been scarred.
We've just been scarred. But no, we absolutely love dogs.
What was that Chihuahua called?
Chloe. That's my favourite dog. Out of all of the dogs we've had, my favourite is Chloe, who's I think 14 years old now.
Way.
So she's still
going
fit
strong.
As a fiddle, mate, going
Love
strong.
it.
She had a bit of a hiccup, but she's still going strong. Our first dog, we had a Labrador, a Bichon Frise, Chihuahua,
2 staffs.
2 staffs who were sisters, British Bulldog, another British Bulldog. Am I missing a dog?
Did you miss a Chihuahua?
2 pugs. So we had our disabled pug, Doug the pug.
Yeah.
And then we also have Mabel, who's still around as well. We've had a lot of cats along the way as well. So it's just my mum. If someone comes to my mum with, we've got some dogs available, my mum would just take them.
Yeah,
so,
nuts.
Yeah, absolutely mental. But one dog, trained well, like yours, happy days.
Mate, mate, it's been so long. Like, obviously, I think until people actually have like their own dog, people don't really understand like the bond that you have with them.
Yeah.
It's so strange, mate. Like, I can't explain it. I can't. So Cooper's my first dog that just belongs to me. We've had family dogs and stuff. But when you've got your own dog and it is like, it's almost, I can imagine it would be like what a child is. Like, they are reliant on you, right? Like, your children, if you don't feed them, they're not getting fed. If you don't look after them and groom them and whatever it is, then they don't get that, right? If they don't get outside, if you don't take them outside, they don't get outside. Like, they are so reliant on you. And I think the thing with dogs, mate, is like they love you regardless. And you would probably say like unconditional love.
Yeah.
Like, they, no matter what you do, like I can tell Cooper off, and it's rare, but I have before. And like, it just look at me like waiting for me to be like, it's okay now. And it comes straight up, and like, no matter what, they're always there. They no judgment or anything like that, and they're just, that's saying, isn't it? Like they're a man's best friend, right?
Yeah, and there's actually like studies that show that people who have dogs live longer and healthier lives as well. There's a book on it. I think it's like why people who have dogs live longer, something along the lines of that. And you know, when you think of the happiness they bring, the routine and structure they bring to a lot of people, and that routine, people waking up earlier, getting outside, getting sunlight, going for a walk, the happiness of having the dogs as well. There's so many things that go into it, but they were a few off the top of my mind.
I think it's a great thing for like people on a health journey. I think get yourself a dog.
Yeah.
Like, you laugh. I read a stat. I see it on socials quite a lot, and it's like how it gives me like the figure, like dog owners walk roughly X amount of steps more in their lifetime than someone without dogs. And the number's just ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous. And again, it gives you that purpose.
Yeah.
Like, if you're lacking motivation, you can't just not take your dog out, right? Like, so you don't have a choice.
And another big call, your dog is a reflection of you as well. If your dog's overweight, I'm telling you, when someone wants to get in shape, there's the old classic thing of when a human needs to lose weight, it's like, what medication, what pills, what supplements, what different diet or detox do I need to go on? But when your dog needs to lose weight, it's take them outside for a walk and feed them a little bit less, and it works. But why are humans any different to that?
Mate, I love reading about that because it is so simple, but it's so true. Like, it is so true, isn't it? Like, get him out for a bit more walk. Get him out for longer walks, whatever it might be, more frequent walks, reduce our food a little bit, and watch what happens. And we're the same, right? Literally, we are the same.
But I'd love to get a dog, but I'm just gonna take it one step at a time. But I do think as well with families, it's quite important to have a dog in the family. I don't know, it kind of brings that final feel.
Yeah, I think it's like that classic, isn't it? Like you always see like the children, the husband, the wife, and then like maybe like a golden retriever or
That's
something
what I was
like
thinking.
that.
I would love a
retriever,
lab, but I
yeah.
don't know. Just out in Dubai, a Labrador.
Mate,
I mean, it obviously can
I tell you
work.
what, in Dubai Hills, they're everywhere. Golden retrievers are
labs
absolutely everywhere.
they're the
Yeah.
best dogs.
So I said to Johanna, I was like, I'd love to get a golden retriever, but they just molt.
Yeah.
So it's just hair everywhere. You know, mate, you can't get rid of it. No matter how much you clean like that, it'll be everywhere.
You'll turn up to a session like a gorilla.
Yeah, just covered. I think, mate, and with Cooper, obviously, so he's a golden doodle, and he's a golden retriever with a standard poodle. So he's got like traits of a golden retriever, but doesn't molt.
Perfect.
So he's literally perfect, mate. Yeah, I'm so biased.
And he's so light as well, though,
mate,
isn't he? Because he looks like solid. And then you pick him up and he's like...
So he's just, I think he's about 20 kg roughly, but he's just fluff. So like he looks so big.
But I tell you
he's
what,
not
you're
at
going to
all.
have to get involved in the old pull-up challenge then. So
With the dog around me.
yeah, so this week, just for a bit of context, and maybe we should start this as a
Yeah,
challenge.
I love it. Yeah, do it.
Roman has been indoors, no nursery, going insane. Beth has been back to work, so our poor nanny there, I'm trying to work indoors. She's got 2 twins and Roman, and when I'm going to the gym, I'm just training in the home gym, the community gym, and just taking Roman with me. Usually there's no one in there, and I just make sure that he's obviously being safe in the gym and whatnot, because sometimes there's kids in there and they're like doing the most dangerous shit you've ever seen. Like, you can't be doing that.
Snatches with dumbbells.
So I set him up some like bands and obstacle courses and whatnot. But I was doing weighted pull-ups, and I think it was around 15 kilo chin-ups I was doing. And Roman sometimes, when I jump on the scales, he jumps on. I'm not like weighing in my kid, don't worry guys. But he jumps on and he's around 15 kilo. I thought, oh, Roman, come here, let's try this out. And he's got a strong little grip on him. He he wrapped around me. And I think I got around 8 reps, but I was already fatigued. I'm just going to put that out there.
Covering your back.
Covering
right
my
away.
back, around 8 reps for 15 kilo. But maybe the challenge could be, so your weight plus your child or your dog's weight. I don't know how you're going to put him on a weighted belt.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do something.
To failure, and you could see what your numbers are.
Yeah.
We've done the chin-ups there. So I'm 95 kilo plus 15 kg for 8. Test it out, guys.
Put it on socials, and actually, you had a few people reach out, didn't you? Because you put it obviously on your Insta story, and loads of people responded, didn't they?
Yeah. You could do it with dips, push-ups. Push-ups would be an easy one, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
To get them on your back. So, yeah, be interesting. But
See what numbers we get.
And going back to the point you mentioned earlier when we were talking about failure leading to success, complete U-turn, but something just come to my mind that I saw online recently, and it was, who has missed the most amount of penalties in football history?
Who? What, a player?
Yeah.
Is it someone who scored the most?
Who would you say?
Missed the most? Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, yeah.
And who scored the most amount of
Ronaldo.
penalties?
Yeah. It's
And
nuts, isn't
another
it?
one was, what team in England has lost the most amount of English Cup finals?
United?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's won the most amount of
United.
English Cup finals?
Yeah, that's such a nice
And then
analogy.
the last one was, in La Liga, who has got the most amount of red cards? Very easy.
Ramos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you search up who is the best defender in La
Yeah.
Liga history,
Probably Ramos, right? Ramos, yeah.
but it just goes to show how, like, these people have had the most amount of failures, and also they don't care. Like, how many times have you seen a penalty and Ronaldo just picks up the ball? He'll let you fight anyone
Yeah,
to take the penalty.
yeah.
He'll just do it, and he's missed the most, but he's also obviously scored the most. But he's just thinking of the positive side of it. And you remember the
100%.
Portugal Cup game when he's calling over one of the players and saying, right, this is you carry that ball, he's a good penalty taker, he pushed him to do it.
He didn't want to do it, did he? I
mentality.
can't remember the other player, but he was sort of shying away, wasn't he? And he like said, like, if you miss, I can't remember what he said, but he
It
said
was
if
a
you
centre
miss, you
mid
miss.
for Wolves, that guy, wasn't it?
Was it what, Neves? Is it Neves?
I think it was one of the
Or
others.
Gomez?
Someone
One of them
will know who someone watching
But
will
no,
know.
I do know what you mean. Yeah, mate. And like I say, and that's obviously like the mantra he sort of lives by, right? Like, just looks at the positive, and like if you fail, at least you tried.
He must just see the opportunity with everything. Remember when he was at his peak and someone would score, but they could have squared it to him and he'd be fuming.
Yeah.
He'd literally be absolutely furious.
I think there's levels, isn't there, to stuff like that though. Like, to look at what he's done, it's just different. Like, it's just a different breed. And I think.
Do you think having that mentality is good for the team or bad for the team? So basically, like, wanting to do your absolute best almost for yourself in a way Is that good or bad for the team?
I think it's tough. I think when you're that good, you can do what you want. And I think if I was on a team with someone like that, even if I didn't like him personally, if it was going to help me win and succeed, I'd be on board with it.
Because if you think about it, the way I think about it is if every single player fought in that way, you'd be unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like if every player, I guess you have got to have team players in there as well. You're a bit more low key and kind of steady the ship and whatnot. But I feel like if everyone just focused on themselves rather than everyone else, is the kind of point I'm trying to make. It's like everyone would just live so much happier.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even live my life looking at what anyone else is really doing. I like to see people win and do well, but I'm not assessing what they're doing. I just focus on everything that I've got to do in a way.
And like, I think something you said there, I love seeing people. Like, I love seeing people win. And some people don't these days. It's so clear. People just don't, and I don't know why that is. Nothing makes me happy than seeing like other people win, whether that is like they succeed in life with something, or I get like just within our clients. Like a client bought the house the other day, and I felt like I was a part of that. And it's like huge win. So hope for you. Like when people succeed in a race and stuff like that, you know how happy they are.
An underrated win that we had this week? I'm going to shout out Nicole, who's just joined the program.
Love it. Yes.
Turning
Nicole.
up, joining the program, committing to the transformation, and turning up to the track session after doing no running, hating running, being like bad at it, as she says bad at it, but we know that we're going to get her good at it. But she really didn't want to do that, and she turned up with her partner there supporting her through it as well. And it was just so good to see her just turn up, complete that session, feel good after for it. And yeah, I just think that first step sometimes is so difficult.
Always the hardest.
Probably so intimidating as well.
100%.
And one thing that people maybe don't realise, I don't know if you had it, but for sometimes when you're a coach, people don't think that you have the same struggles as them. But I remember literally my first time going into the gym, and with the gym that I used to train at, Mountbatten was my first gym. I used to go in there, sneak in, do a bit of gym, squash courts. I must have been so young, but they had like a little section in the gym where like all the old people would go, and it was like tucked around the corner with the real light weights and the stability balls and stuff. And I just used to go around there just because I didn't want anyone to like see me. I'd be happy being with the old people doing my thing. And it is a daunting thing, like turning up to the track, going to the gym. And then then after a while, you realise no one's really judging you. It's more of a belief system within yourself. But that first step is the hardest.
100%. And I think the thing going back to Nicole, obviously, like she left and she was really happy. And she's obviously coming back next week. She's asking us about what she's
inviting her friends.
Inviting her friend, asking her if she needs to get a Garmin or a Whoop, like to be better at the tracking and stuff. Yeah, I just think it's superb. And I think one of the things is you never regret trying. No. Like if she didn't turn up, she might have thought, oh, like, should I have gone? But she turned up. She would have loved it or like completely hated it, right? And then at least you sort of know. But she's loved it. And again, with that, like she's now going to meet new people who's also trying to make themselves better. And I think being around people who, I think it does matter who you're around.
Yeah.
So I think like being around like good people who are challenging their self, just like you are, no matter where you're starting, being around those people make a huge difference. They can make you feel comfortable. They can make you feel on edge or whatever. And when you realise that you're around good people, you do feel safe. You do feel comfortable. And you know no one there cares how fast you run, how slow you run. No one cares.
People just want to see. We just want to see effort, really, don't we? Like, and that's the thing.
And enjoyment.
And enjoyment.
Enjoy it.
Yeah. And one thing when we're doing the track sessions is we're all running at our different paces. But at the end, when I done my last 200 meters, I think the other day, I was nearly like laying on the floor, absolutely dead. But then so were the people who were just starting out. And it's like, it's no different really. You just obviously, as you evolve, you get a bit quicker and whatnot. But I saw you were wrecked at one point.
100, you thought I was injured, wasn't
you? Yeah, I thought you were injured. I thought you had a hamstring injury or something was going on.
Were you being sick or you're injured? But yeah, I think that makes such a misconception as well. Like your 100% is the same as my 100%. It might be different paces.
Yeah.
But same with your 1 rep max. I still have a 1 rep max, but they're different 1 rep maxes. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's the same with running. Like how fit someone is, that's still pushing themselves to the absolute limit. Just as I am. It doesn't matter if I'm quicker or slower. And I think it's really important to remember that.
That's one kind of sad thing but good thing about fitness is it just never gets easier. You get stronger, you get fitter. Yeah. But people, I think, do assume that it will just eventually become easy. But that's kind of like the beauty of it as well, of like it being that difficult. And the transformation mentally it does to you. And I don't know what it is. Like when you experience that feeling, like I want to challenge myself every week, and it's something we don't have enough of sometimes.
I think something just you highlighted something there, mate, about how long like it can take and stuff like that in sort of the constant pursuit of chasing something. It takes time. And I think one of the things is sometimes you never get there. Like, what is the final destination, right? I never want to get to a final destination where I'm like, all right, I'm happy with that. I don't want to improve anymore. I think that's such a negative mindset. But it takes a long, long time to even get anywhere near a point where you actually feel I don't know, like competent or settled. But I think, again, it's the beauty of it. You can always be in better shape. You can always be a little bit stronger. You can always be a little bit quicker, a little bit fitter, whatever it might be. It takes time. And
I think it was Will Smith who said that the most depressed he's ever been is basically when he had the most.
how mad's that?
So he had the most amount of like money, status, like he just
Nothing to
basically
chase.
made it, yeah. And he just like hit this all-time low.
It doesn't make sense, does it?
No, but he just
but-
loved the chase and
Yeah.
loved the game. And you obviously see it with people who retire, and some people who retire maybe, get their allotment or they continue doing something and they stay young. They just have that purpose. Like humans are meant to wake up with something to focus on.
You always get that. How many times you've been asked a question, like if you won the lottery, like would you still work, And you always have
We would
that.
use that money for a gym, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we just built the best gym ever. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And our own track, I reckon. Our own track
Gym
around
on
the
a
gym.
boat.
Yeah, something
Just sail around.
outrageous. Yeah, outrageous. So just touching on something there, mate, about I think it's important to talk about like how long it actually takes to get a transformation or to get in a better place. We're talking about sort of an endless pursuit. And people don't realise, I think it sort of comes from the younger generation as well, where they think like 3 months is going to be a good place just to change everything, or even 6 months. We were talking again, how really like to make serious change, you're probably talking about 12 months, really, aren't you? Like as a minimum for so many different reasons. And again, everyone starts at different points, so it's not concrete. Like you need 12 months to change your life. It's not like that because everyone does start from different points. But sometimes you don't realise what people's done in the background. You don't know that you might look at someone and think, oh my God, they're incredible. But you might not know that they've got 2 decades of training, nutrition under their belt. Like if you're starting out and you're only 5 years in, you don't deserve to be where they are. They've put in a decade and a half more work.
Yeah.
And I think this day and age, I think where it's plastered all over social media these days of like these outrageous physiques, these challenges that are being done, I think people think they are just obtainable like that. Little bit of work and you can get there. It doesn't work like that.
No, I always find it when I'm coaching clients that maybe someone who's trained for 10 plus years, but they've just gone to the gym, they've lifted weights, they've eaten healthy, they've done like basic things. So they've got a bit of a solid frame, but they're just overweight and they need to dial it in. Then people can join you and in 12, 16 weeks, they can lose 10, 12 kilos of body fat or weight. And then all of a sudden, like, wow, where on earth did that transformation come from? Because they've got them foundations underneath from that training experience. And then what can happen is someone sees that transformation online. They think, oh, I want exactly how that worked. And then they join, but they haven't been training in the gym. So then when they get leaner, they've maybe got no muscle, or they're just lean enough to the point they have to go for a muscle building process.
Which takes a long
And
time.
how many years did we commit to muscle
Like
building?
you're talking like, wow, what? When we started
First
training?
5 years of a surplus, really.
Yeah, and that was like a heavy surplus, like
Yeah.
eating almost as much as possible, just consuming like hard gainer protein shakes
Yeah.
multiple times a day, lifting as
training
heavy as possible.
disgustingly.
We train every day.
Yeah.
Like every day for about 2 hours.
To failure every set.
Every single would be the amount of times we say, right, like your session today, next thing, like
1 rep max.
1 rep max every session. And obviously, like knowing that now is probably not ideal, but it just shows you that that's what it takes. If you add that up, probably on average, we probably train 6 days a week, 2 hours a day for a minimum of 5 years. If you do the numbers on that, like that's some serious graft you've put in there,
I think a year's cycle is good as well because you get to kind of experience each phase of the year. It's so different getting in shape or this health and fitness lifestyle in the winter to the summer. And also it depends, like if you're in the UK, obviously summer and winter is very different. Dubai, summer and winter is very different. There's travel, there's birthdays, Christmas, different occasions, and learning how to navigate them. Like so many people say, I'm not going to focus on this until I finish this event. And it's like, you actually should learn how to maintain during that phase. And sometimes people think, oh, maintenance isn't progress. But if over that time you were going to gain 2-3 kg and you've now maintained, you then come back in the new year at that baseline still. January, you're finding new lows that you've never felt. Whereas most people are trying to lose that initial Christmas weight over in January, right? So I think it's just a commitment that once you commit to the lifestyle, it doesn't even matter the month, the day of the year. And I think just going through a full yearly cycle of knowing how to manage different occasions is very important, I would say.
And also just enjoying every part of the year.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't just feel, I can't express how passionate I am about just people just focus on feeling good for the summer.
Yeah.
Like why are you doing that? Like, cool, you like might have your top off more or being like skimpier clothes or whatever it might be, or there might be more social events. But why do you want to just be good for them months? Like, if you know that makes you feel good, why do you not want to do that all year round? Like, you see people like panicking over Christmas, like, I'm just going to enjoy myself this day. I can guarantee you now, if you've looked after yourself for the 360 days prior to that, you can enjoy Christmas and you shouldn't even worry about it.
I always think that people focus way too much on like, what should I do on Christmas Day, but don't focus on like what they've done in the 3 months in the lead up. Like, I don't worry about Christmas Day, you don't worry about Christmas
Look
Day.
at Easter,
Just
like,
do whatever I want.
It
Like, doesn't
indulge.
matter.
Like, indulge, because you know you've worked so hard in the year 2, 3, whatever it might be, and you know after you'll just get back to it.
And it's all about averages, right?
100%.
All about averages.
Well, that's a lot of our coaching, isn't it? Like, what we focus on, a lot of our average weight, average step count, average calories, average protein. Focus on everything on your averages.
Yeah,
and I think it's just that mindset of all or nothing.
I had someone in the program who's actually got a very good mindset, but just a point that we touched on that kind of relates to this is they said that depending on how they felt in the gym, I asked how they felt about their progress, and they said, it changes by the hour, by the day. Like, some days I feel good, some days I feel bad. Like, so I don't really know. And I zoomed out and looked at like the month and the quarter, and like strength is up, body composition is improving, like all the direction is going in the right way. But the mindset was thinking like by the hour, like, today in the gym I felt strong, so progress is really good. Today in the gym I feel weak, so progress is really bad. Or it's the same with weight, right? Like, if someone's in a fat loss phase and their weight goes up, they're in a bad mood.
Yeah.
If the weight goes down, they're in a good mood. And if you do that, you're just never going to be happy or enjoy the process. And then what's the even point of doing this? That you're doing this to improve the quality of your life. So for me, I always like to look at things probably quarterly, but even monthly. If you want to go shorter term, look month on month, like at the end of April, like, how was your April? What did you achieve? One thing that we've done with our clients now is we review every bi-monthly, so every 8 to 12 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Where we sit down with them and we say, right, what have we achieved? Body composition, performance, lifestyle, recovery, all the metrics. And then you should be looking back on that period, noticing changes.
100%.
Maybe not a full-on transformation.
There will be changes.
But big changes, yeah.
Absolutely. It's just sort of like building a house. It's really cliche and a bit cheesy, but like, you got to build the foundations, right? And every day that you tick off, that is adding something. Every positive day, just because it doesn't show on the number on the scales, it doesn't mean you've regressed. Like, and I think we're so obsessed on like one maybe negative, and you forget all the positives that happen in the day. Like, did you walk your steps? Yeah, brilliant. So that's something you should be happy about. Did you sleep your 7 to 8 hours? Yeah, brilliant. Did you get some progression in the gym? Yeah, brilliant. But your scale's gone up a pound or whatever, and all of a sudden it's like game over. But no, mate, I think sort of zooming out is so important. Yeah. It's so important. It's hard to do. It's hard when you're all calm and stuff. It's really easy to suggest, but it is so important. And I can guarantee you, if you've been doing what is prescribed, or you're doing the right things you've prescribed yourself, not even by a coach, but if you are doing the right things, I can guarantee you in 2 months you've made progress. Yeah. It's impossible not to.
You can't like do everything and fail.
Especially not over 2 months.
No.
I think we said it last week, mate. Like, fitness and a transformation isn't down to chance.
No.
Like, it's as simple as that. It's not
intentional.
down to chance. Like, if you commit for the right amount of time that your body needs, and you do what is required, whether it takes 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, you will get there.
I think a thing as well that you've got to look at is if you've been following bad habits and this unhealthy lifestyle for 3 years, like, you cannot reverse that in 8 weeks. So you've got to think about the kind of what you've got on the other side of that as well, right? So yeah, you've definitely got to weigh up the time frames, or even some people it's like 10, 20 years, and yeah, it's going to take a bit of time.
And mate, we said it out. We say it all the time, but people always underestimate how much they actually need to lose as well.
Yeah.
Like, I think people think it's easy. Like, they think being in very, very good shape is easy, or being super fit is easy, and it's hard working full-time parents. Like, it is hard.
Yeah.
But when you look around the general population, that's why so many people are out of shape, because it's hard. And I absolutely love that it's hard, because I think it's so rewarding. And you see someone in good shape, you know they've worked bloody hard for that.
Yeah.
And people deserve to be like given credit for that, because it takes decades.
100%.
And it is something that should be, like, as you said a minute ago, like a lifelong journey. But just touch on, mate, because we always talk about this, how much people actually normally need to lose to be in outrage shape. Obviously, it depends on a starting weight. But for me, I always think, like, as soon as you get below like 5 kg, people are like, oh, that sounds light. But realistically, normally for people who are looking to get super lean or want to be in a lot better shape, I would always say, imagine what you think, and then maybe add like between another 5 and 10 kg.
It's probably
on.
5 at least, isn't
Yeah,
it? Yeah, most
it's
people,
nuts.
when you give them kind of rough estimates, they'll say, oh, it's not about the weight, it's about the way that I want to feel. And I definitely get that as well. But most people in a fat loss phase are going to be losing more weight than they think most of the time. I mean, if you look at the guys who we've done transformation with, they're usually actually pretty light as well. For me, I'm around 95 kilo right now. My photo shoot weight would be like 87 kilos. So again, like maybe lean would be 92, but then 5 kilo lower is photo shoot weight.
I think the thing as well that you're already like if you had your top off and people would be like, oh, he's already in good shape. I think that's a misconception. You know,
I've nearly got 10 kilo to lose.
You still got 10 kilo to
now.
lose, mate. For me, I remember when I done a photo shoot, I actually done it properly. As properly as possible. I think I was out in Dubai actually a week before, so it wasn't ideal prep, but we got it done.
I remember that, yeah.
I think I was normally my average weight's like 75 to 77-ish. I'd get down to like, I think it was 64. And like that is so light. And even when I say 64 on my head, I'm like, that is ridiculous, not obtainable, not healthy, whatever. But that's what it takes. And like, you don't look 64, by the way. We were talking about Harry, right? Like his physique, like he's around that mark.
At 64, you look jacked as well. Yeah. And Harry, obviously, he was around 64 as well. So, yeah, mate, that's what it takes, really. And I guess going on to another point. So, as you know, I've got a coach and I've always had coaches. I like being coached. I mean, there's so many reasons for it. For me, I like to have a structured program and I like someone almost like looking over what I'm doing, spotting blind spots. And I feel like when someone else programs for me, as long as you hire the right coach, they're going to program things for you that you wouldn't do, that you know that you should do.
You would avoid.
So, for example, like every week, I don't know, there was in my program the other day, barbell front rack, front foot elevated split squat.
How many sets?
I think 80, 90 kilo, up to 100 kilo or something. And 4 sets on there. But I would never program them myself. So, and that's what I like about it. I like the challenge of the programming. Again, you've got to make sure that you find the right coach. Shout out to Jane, by the way. It was her birthday yesterday. So happy birthday. And so I like the accountability around it and whatnot as well. But for me, when I signed up to my coach, like I think of probably a 2 to 3 year cycle of being coached to be able to fully understand the principles and apply the information. I know that sounds quite extreme, but for me, if I'm thinking like that and then people are coming in thinking they need 8 weeks and they've never trained, like it's just too unrealistic. So I think, for most people, we always say, right, 6 months is a minimum kind of time frame. Ideally, a 9 to 12 is where you'd want to be. And obviously, if you look at the people who are doing the best, Harry Wiles, I've been coaching him for 3 years now, and it's going to be a part of who he is forever now because it's who he is now. It's like brushing his teeth in the morning. 100%. It's ingrained into his lifestyle as well.
We had a conversation with him yesterday, and he's got so much going on at the moment, right? Like, but he was just all about like, I'm away here, changing jobs here, moving to a new country here. But when we're back, like, this is what I want to do. Like, so absolutely, as you said, it's just it does become a part of your life, and that's what it should be. Yeah. And I think when someone hires a coach or gets involved in a service or a program, it is an investment.
Yeah.
And that what sort of investment do you get returns back after? You obviously will get returns weekly, essentially. You should make them small strides forward. But even if you're talking about investing money, you're not going to get hundreds of thousands back on your minimal investment in 2 weeks. It just doesn't happen, right? It takes time. Things take time. And I think it's just something that people need to understand. And I think that's when people do commit for the long term. They're serious. Yeah. And that they understand, they're willing to learn. Leah, for example, very new. And I know we've spoken to her. She's from like the dancing background and stuff. And she's very open and honest about, she doesn't like how she looks. She's been fed like so many misconceptions about she can't have too much body fat here or there. Like proteins is bad for her because it make her gain weight from like this dancing industry background. So she has like no real idea about how we do stuff in sort of the program that we run, but she's willing to commit. Yeah. And like she's committed 12 months. She's raring to go. She's already signed up to a half marathon in October, which is nuts. Doing stuff in the gym, she's always been so conscious of. And I think if you want to make that change, you will do it. Yeah. It is simple as that. Like, and I think you have to ask yourself, like, how much do you want it, right?
100%. No, definitely. And just going back to a point that I've thought of, we were obviously mentioning about doing hard things and it changing your kind of mental capacity of like what hard actually is. And that's kind of why, again, I have a coach. And I always think when I go in the gym, let's say on a Monday, I think on a Monday, like the first things I'm usually doing is like a heavy loaded back squat, just vile movements. And if you look at what everyone else is doing, everyone is at the bench.
Chest.
Everyone's doing
chest Monday?
Yeah, it's
that
chest
like
Monday, right? Yeah. So everyone's doing
chest
bench
day,
and chest.
Monday.
And that's kind of, so many guys in particular struggle with training legs. And for me, like I try and train legs hard. And yes, I'm tall and I've got twigs naturally, so I want to try and get them bigger. But it's not even about like trying to get, like, I don't even care about having like these aesthetic legs. I think it's more the mental win of just, no one else is doing that. No one's doing heavy loaded back squats, split squats, deadlifts multiple times a week. So if you can do that, like what mental advantage are you going to get in life from everyone else just doing? It's fun to do incline dumbbell chest press and bench press and side raises and bicep curls and all that. Like, of course, I love that. I do that on a Friday.
Just
but after the actual work is done. So yeah, I think that's an important point. Yeah. And obviously that brings us on to the point of our monthly training session, right? Of trying to lock in a time every month where we can all train hard together and leave going, right, okay, that's what difficulty is. Yeah. So tell us about what's going on there.
So we're going to start something called TGL Performance, right? And it's going to be to start with, it's going to be a monthly session. So it's going to be a monthly gym class. A lot of it would be like endurance based. So a lot of sweat, a lot of heavy breathing. But a lot of fun. It'd be great. But I think, like I say, we were talking yesterday, like we were trying to be really specific with what we want out of it, right? And we just want to push people, like mentally, physically, get people around similar-minded people.
Just for 1 hour of just
for
all,
1 hour.
All burying ourselves
literally
for 1 hour.
bury yourself, and come out and think. And I guarantee you after it, you will literally love it. But yeah, it's just another thing we want to do. Obviously, with TGR, one of the things we're pushing the most is community, right? That's one of the things we're just so pushing so much on, because we understand how important it is to be around people with similar goals, similar mindset, everyone wanting to improve. Like, it's a powerful place to be. Yeah. And I think something that I've loved, George, is just being able to facilitate that. Yeah. Like just down the track or in the group chats we've got
love
flowing
it more than
now.
anyone, don't we? It's
just
so good.
To facilitate it, it feels amazing. So this is sort of our next venture. Obviously, it'd be open to clients and then non-clients as well who want to get involved. But yeah, we've got the date. So it's 26th of April 7:45.
Yeah.
And something we spoke about as well, when we started talking about joining together and running certain things towards the end of last year. And we had an idea of like doing a Saturday club or a Sunday club. And we were like, we want to do it early because we want people to actually make the effort to come. Yeah. And like, what if you don't want to get up early? Cool, don't get up early. Like,
it's kind of like a filter for us of like who we want there and not anyway, right? So yeah, sometimes people say, change it to this because then I'll make it. And then what happens is, because I've actually gone through this, if you then tweak it to the people who want to do it later, they don't even turn up.
Yeah.
So you've just changed it all.
Find another excuse.
Yeah.
Find another excuse.
And then the disciplined ones who were actually really invested in it can't make it now because they're already doing something with their day because they're already up early.
Well, look at the track day. Like, we've got so many people that I know we're going back to it, but it's a huge part, right? We started 5 weeks ago. We had how many people? 50. We started
15.
off with 2 people. We've got 15 people in 5 weeks. Hopefully going to be at 20 next week. We've got over 40 people in the group now, sharing runs, bigging each other up. So hyped after
even
a
people
Tuesday.
entering for races and whatnot. I know it got cancelled. That's another topic. But people entering for races and having that belief of like, I want to work towards that and just do my best on the day. I'm not going to get the best time. I'm not going to get sub whatever, but I'm going to give it a good go and see
enjoying
where I'm
a coffee after and talking about it and looking forward to next week. That's brilliant. We got like a beginner to like an intermediate group. So like we just want everyone to get together.
People saying it's giving them that purpose as well, isn't it? They're looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think just being able to facilitate that is powerful. But one of the things that a lot of people that say that's been coming, they've just been saying it feels so good. Like it's 7 o'clock and I've done. Like my hard session's done. And you've got the whole day. Yeah. And until you do it, you will never regret coming or getting a horrendous session in nice and early, burying yourself, as we like to call it, and then you still got the whole day. It sets you up so well. Yeah, and that's essentially why we basically got the whole day on that Sunday to choose from in terms of hours. I think there's 1 hour of the day where that gym's got a class where we wouldn't be able to book it. And I think it's 9 till 10 or something like that. So we had the whole day. We could book it in the afternoon or something. We thought, you know what, let's go early. Because the people who want to turn up and want to make that effort, they get there at 7:45 on a Sunday.
100%. Especially family people as well. Mums and dads are going to want to get there early so then they can have the day with their kids. And it really does leave you more energetic. Like at first I thought, do you know what, maybe this running thing's bullshit. Like I'm going out for a run and I am wrecked. The rest of the day I'm like absolutely done in. But then you get through that few weeks and like I think I'd done an 18K long run, and I actually felt really good the whole day. And I was saying to Beth, I'm still buzzing, I've got energy. I think it's just that early phase is bad, isn't it? But then once you get over it, it gives you more energy as
you
well.
just get used to it. So your body adapts so fast with everything, right?
But I'm buzzing for the session. It'd be good to have some actual like kit, because then we can send it in a different way. Obviously, we're doing the running, but it's good to get everyone in a gym, coffee shop there as well, and just have a great session. And that monthly reset of like what it takes to actually train hard. Everyone in it together, me and you, Barry, and ourselves side by side with them. So that'd be good.
It's going to be great fun. Yeah, and it's the first one. It's going to be special. And like I say, it's going to be something we do every month, and maybe it'll progress. Maybe people will want more of it, but we'll make sure we get some good, cool footage for it, right?
100%. So what I've done, as we're getting towards the end of this, is I've done a bit of a this or that today. So I'll just say some this or that, and we can both go and discuss on them, right? So it's going to start off with what's harder. What is harder to do? And I feel like I can finally comment on this, because you guided me through the sub 25K. And obviously we've both done a 100 kg bench. Obviously it's a worldwide topic.
Yeah.
Sub 20 minute 5K or a 100 kg bench press for 1 rep. What is harder?
Are we talking for me or like generically?
That's a debate that I don't understand.
It's hard, isn't it? Because everyone's so different.
And also, just to be clear, a sub 25K is harder to actually do on the day. Like doing 1 rep of 100 kilos is hard, but I'm talking about what's actually harder to achieve in terms of like the overall, like what is harder to actually get.
I think a sub 20 minute 5K
is harder.
Yeah. I think purely because a lot of people, I think there'd be more people that could do a 100K bench. But even some people who probably don't go to the gym, I still bet there's people out there who can do that. If you're a heavier build, I don't know, maybe you've got quite a manual job, something like that. Like, I bet that a lot of them guys can still go in there. But I can't imagine, like, I look at the general population just walking around, like, I can't imagine many people being able to run a sub 25K.
Mate, I have the opposite thought.
Really?
I have the opposite thought. For me, it took me so long to get a 100 kilo bench. For me, that was actually always the benchmark. I remember when I was just starting out 15, 16, there was a guy in the gym and he was doing 100 kg for like 10 reps. And I was like, that's actually the goal. First of all, do it for 1, but then be able to rep it out is seriously impressive. And I reckon it was my first challenge, and it maybe took me, I would say, 4 years of benching twice a week to get my first 100 kg bench. And then with running, I mean, I haven't run in like a decade properly. And 4 weeks into the running plan, I've got a sub 25K. However, it does depend on the person, right? Because when I was younger, I was always so skinny and weak and fragile. Naturally a good runner, that I prioritised strength so much that I lost a little bit of my running. And I guess we've kind of got a foundation with running. We've played sport. I was always doing some zone 2, zone 3 work, intervals here and there, nothing serious. But for me, mate, honestly, I don't know. I know it's the opposite way, but for me, 100 kilo bench was serious going. I don't think people actually understand like how difficult it is.
Do you remember when you got it?
Maybe it was less time than 4 years, but it was years. It wasn't like months away.
I think as well, I think the thing is like we started lifting so young. So I feel like that journey to get there felt forever.
Yeah, because we were so skinny, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I went in the gym and when I first went in the gym with my brother, he wanted me to be away from him so I didn't embarrass him at the time.
Jack's a big boy, isn't he?
He was
Jack's a big boy.
And we was doing barbell bench and I couldn't do the bar, 20 kilo. So I had to do dumbbell and I had to do like 4-6 kg and I was like wobbling all over the place.
Yeah.
Whereas running probably back then was quite strong. I don't think I would have done a sub 25K, but I would have been much closer. Obviously, 100 kilo bench was years off at that point. So in my personal case, 100 kilo bench is miles harder than a sub 25K. But it's interesting. I mean, let me chat GPT.
Yeah, see what they say.
Yeah. Let's have a little look.
I think as well, I think there's so much to it in terms of where, like your starting point, like where we did start so young. It's pretty wild to think like a 15-year-old, 17-year-old can bench 100, this day and age anyway, just starting. I think people do underestimate how, especially you, like you were so slim. I mean, we had very similar builds, but you were obviously taller and stuff like that. Is it coming up?
Okay. Statistically, what is harder for the general population? 100 kg bench press for 1 rep or sub 20 minute 5K?
Is he not going to give you a direct answer?
if you asked 100 average men, most likely would hit 100 kg bench before sub 20, especially men already lifting. I don't want that. I don't want if they're already lifting, though.
I think that's it. There's so many parameters in it, isn't it? I think as well, like where you started trying to run now, you have got a little bit of a background. When you first started lifting, we literally started from nothing.
Yeah.
Right? So I think like even playing sport and stuff and lifting, especially like how you lift, like last few years, like being training for CrossFit and being coached in a very different way. Like you work hard in the gym, man. Like that is definitely working your lungs as well, you know?
So it's saying cold with no experience of training whatsoever, 100 kg bench press is harder for the average person.
Yeah.
But ChatGPT does hype you up, right?
Yeah,
and it knows your background. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's just giving me a bit of bias. So
Yeah.
maybe people put that into their
No one
system
saw
and
what
see
you
what's
put in there
happening.
either. Was it like, tell me it's 100 kg bench?
I then put in after, but what's harder for someone with no experience?
Yeah.
So if no one's got any, because basically what it said is if you've got a running babackground, then it's just done the opposite.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Or if you've got lifting experience, 100 kilo bench can it be easier? Yeah. I want no experience, nothing.
I think they're both great things, aren't they? I think they're both really impressive. I think one thing the goalposts always move.
Yeah.
So like you got, like say the benchmark for you was 100 kg, and they've got there and it's like now it's what is it like 115 for 10 or 120 for 10 or whatever it is, and that you've got a sub 25k, and it's like.
So this brings me on to the next one. I actually can't comment on this because I'm not there. You've got one, so it's between a sub 40 10k or a 140 kg bench press for one. I think for me, my numbers, I'm 130 kg for two, and I haven't done a 10k, I'm predicted 40.01. So I'm there or thereabouts, but I'm not done it. You've done the sub 40 10k. What would you think would be harder out of
for me,
the running in the bench?
What, trying to bench 140?
Yeah.
It snapped me in half. Like, there's no way. I wouldn't even be able to, I don't even think I'd be able to unrack it, mate. Like,
But apparently that's similar difficulty levels.
I think that's literally like almost twice my body weight.
Yeah.
Like, there's just no way.
It all just comes back to like who is the person, what is their weight, what is their background.
If you had to ask me what one I would want now, I'd say 140 bench. I think 140 bench is a serious weight.
3 plate bench.
That's big.
Outrageous.
Yeah, that's wild.
Absolutely outrageous.
I think like a sub 40 10k, like you can achieve that. Out of them two, I'd say a sub 40 bench is 100% harder. I don't think you can wing that at all. I feel like you could probably wing like a 100 kg bench if you've been training for a while. Got maybe a little bit heavier than the majority of people. I think you could probably wing that. I don't think you can wing 140 kg bench.
Okay, next one. This one's for you. A Hyrox or a half marathon, what is more difficult? I know there's different categories of a Hyrox, so let's just put in like your general one.
I think the timing, so obviously you're talking probably Hyrox like 60 minutes, half marathon, sub 90 minutes. That's so difficult. I think if I was talking dub, I think a Hyrox is probably harder.
Really?
It's just so intense. Like especially a doubles, like it's just rapid. It's almost just like constant hit training. Like you're at it for like 30 seconds, then you give like a little bit of a break, then you go again, and then you're just trying to run as fast as you basically can. I feel like a half marathon, it's more like your zone 3, zone 4-ish stuff. So it's about more endurance based.
Yeah.
I will get you to a Hyrox one day. Mark it here.
I don't know about that. I've got a lot of convincing to do. Running's pushing the boat. Running's pushing the boat. Okay, let's move on to this or that, and let's do a bit of a quick fire because we haven't got a lot of time. And what would you rather? So,
what would I rather?
Track session or long run?
Track session. You?
That long run was good though. The conversation, conversational pace long runs. That's track all day.
Mate,
Track's so
Tuesday's
good.
my favourite day of the week.
I love
man.
doing the speed work. It's fun as
with
well.
the community as well. It's great.
Flat white or Americano? Oh, the bean.
The bean. Don't burn the bean.
Non-burnt bean.
I think luxury like flat white. Like for luxury flat white. I think if I'm like in a work block or something, Americano.
Mate,
Americano
black
in the
coffee's
mornings
pure
and
focus,
stuff.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
pure focus. But weekends, flat white. Saturday,
weekends
after a long run, bit of a treat.
Yes, I do actually see it as a bit of a treat. Yeah, 100%.
Push or pull day?
Push.
I'm pull all
really
day.
Push all day for me. Yeah,
That's exactly why we were training partners for years.
Yeah.
I would hate benching, overhead pressing, the range of motion so long. But yeah, pull days are fun.
Especially now for you, like you're killing pull-ups and stuff like that. Like your abs and like your bent over rows are always quite strong. My bent over rows are always quite weak. I think that's quite something to look at as well. Like you favoured pull. You were much stronger on pull, probably in terms of body weight in terms of what we were lifting. I was maybe a little bit stronger on some of the dumbbell presses and stuff.
On, especially in terms of body weight. Like you were beating me on a lot of numbers, but your body weight's like God knows how much.
But I think that's something quite interesting, isn't it? Like I enjoy that more. And I sort of excel in that. You enjoy the other way.
Do we all just enjoy what we're good at?
Yeah, avoid any hard work at all. Absolutely.
Free weights or machines?
Oh, I think I think free weights are. I think earlier free weights are better. I always like to try and do free weights earlier on in my session. I think they're harder, take a lot more muscle groups actually to control, stabilize, etc. But I do love sort of, if you want to call it the pump or the control you can actually get with machines.
You're just going for like a bro session where you make machines. You go to the gym pump, where like, you can just jump on different machines. But no, I'm free weights all day. Even from early, I've always enjoyed free weights. I think it's just something about being in control of that weight. I know the numbers and the science behind how, like, if you want to optimize building muscle, the machine is going to give you the stability and all this kind of stuff. But I like creating the stability myself and having that challenge.
Mate, I think that's just something to touch on very, very quickly. Is there's nothing wrong with just old school lifting. No. Like there's so much science-based stuff now. Like I promise you, if you do a few basics right, you'll be fine.
I think just enjoying it and training hard is so much more important.
What happens if you enjoy it? You're going to turn up the next day and the next day and the next day.
And me and Joseph, actually, who's obviously gone through a massive transformation, like we have simplified it so much for him that he's just like lifting old school and just seeing outrageous results. Like, again, you can look into like the line of forces and the machine and all this rubbish, but just going in the gym and like smashing heavy weighted chins and dips and stuff, it just makes you feel, and it makes you enjoy it. And then if you enjoy it more, and even changing up the program, everyone's always like, oh, you can get a strength block for 20 plus weeks and still get progression. But it's like, you know, we try to change it up every 8 weeks because it just going to the gym, doing something new, fresh, waking up some new muscles as well. So, okay, solo training or group training?
Oh, we talking like group like me and you? Or we talking like or like in a class environment?
No, not a class environment. So just with people. Be careful.
So I think like some of the funniest times we've had are probably like in our bro sessions and stuff like that. I think sometimes it's great to lock in on your own. If I had to choose like one for the rest of my life, I'd probably say with someone. Yeah. But that has to be the right person. Yeah. It can make a session or absolutely crush and break a session. How about you?
For me, it's hard. If I was to say one, it just depends on who you're training with. I really enjoy my solo. The way that I like to structure my week now, I've definitely been guilty over the past few years of just like locking myself in on my own and then not putting myself around enough like competition to like push, or just like even running with you and we're pushing each other. So that's definitely something that I've missed out on. So I've just always kind of been a lone wolf, being on my own. And I've always enjoyed that more. I'd say I probably enjoy that more because you can focus on your like specific weaknesses, and I like very specific programming. I think that's a bit of a PT background, obviously program specifically. But then recently it's made me realise the power of community and doing our track and going and meeting for our long run and just pushing each other. So yeah, if I had to pick one, I don't know, it's difficult. I think a combination of both is like the
That's
ultimate.
The elite one, isn't it? Yeah, you're sitting on the fence a bit though.
I know, that's bad. I'll say solo training. I just didn't want to say it to you.
But if we're done.
I don't know. So I'll say solo training for gym, group training for running.
Yeah, nice.
That's my photo shoot on that. Photo shoot? I'm reading the title. So this was going to be the question. A photo shoot prep changes you more than a race prep. True or false?
So hard. So for me, again, I'm going to beat around the bush very quickly. I feel like the build up to a photo shoot is harder, and I think the photo shoot's great, but I feel like the satisfaction of crushing like a race block and getting like an outrageous PB, I think that
adrenaline
trumps the photo shoot. Okay. I think the build up for a photo shoot is difficult in so many different ways. Like the calories are maybe a bit lower. You have to function when you're not feeling optimal. And it's great to like see your body changing. But I think for me, post race is so much more fulfilling than post photo shoot for me.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, I've never done a race yet, but with the photo shoot, I feel like on a photo shoot, the journey is a reward kind of thing. Yeah, and I turn up on the day and I'm happy, but you know, it's not something that I'm absolutely like hyped about. I just feel like I've done that. I'm proud of that. It's more of like a proud thing. So, okay, a couple more. Dubai winter or European summer? I was going to say UK summer, but then I thought it'd be Dubai
I'd probably
winter,
say
European summer.
Maybe European summer. Like I always do associate with this is going to be my first warm winter. So it's going to be a weird one for me. But I've been over here in November a few times and I know they do Christmas massively. And I'm a huge fan of Christmas. I think just being in the UK, you associate Christmas with like cold, right? So yeah. Okay. But how about you? I know you
Dubai
love
winter.
the Christmas over here.
Dubai
you
winter for me.
absolutely love it, don't you?
I love Christmas over it. I love Dubai winter for sure. A couple more. Real quick. This one we could go on about for ages, but just real quick. Militant coach or an understanding coach?
Understanding coach.
It's no brainer, isn't
Yeah.
it? I can't stand people
Alright.
shouting at me.
What's
I
the
just
point?
don't respond to it.
Yeah,
at
it's
all.
awful. It's not for me at all.
Okay. Never lift again or never run again.
Oh, that's so horrid. Do you mean like can't even play sport or anything like that?
No.
'Cause I think I'd probably say never lift because I can incorporate like sport and running and stuff like that. Although I
Just play paddle. Just
yeah,
commit to
that's what I
paddle.
mean, paddle
Yeah.
and stuff like that. How about you?
I think I'd commit to sport.
Yeah,
Commit to
same.
sport.
Yeah,
I
you get
think
more
I'd
out of it.
Go for it, 100%. No caffeine or no music for training. You have to sacrifice one.
No music.
I don't care about music.
Yeah, me
anyway.
neither.
Like,
Caffeine is a
so important,
non-negotiable,
isn't it?
yeah.
Caffeine is just so
Yeah.
important. Okay, training 40-degree Dubai summer or the worst wet, windy conditions
40
in the UK.
degrees.
You'd rather train in the
Yeah,
heat?
throw me in the heat. Yeah,
I'd rather be in the cold. I
yeah,
think.
throw me in the heat, man.
Don't you feel a bit sharper in the cold? But I guess wind just does you.
Mate,
doesn't
I
it?
did
If you're
think,
running against wind.
Mate, I did. Obviously, where I'm still fairly new to running, this was like my first winter of running in the UK. Worst ever.
Really? So that bad?
Do you know what? I thought like it would be really cool, like running in the wind, running in the rain. It wasn't cool at all. It was vile. It was horrendous.
Last one to finish the episode on. Would you rather be wealthy and out of shape or fit and financially comfortable?
100% fit and financially
No-brainer.
comfortable. It's literally a no-brainer. Yeah.
I've made that too easy, that last one, haven't I?
Yeah. I think I'd rather be
but
fit
then
and
if you
like
actually look at people's actions, they will sacrifice everything for
for
wealth.
money. Yeah. They don't care. Yeah. That
Not
come
in the
back to
good
bite
life.
them.
Not in the good life.
Not in TGL.
Thanks for listening, guys. See you next episode.